You know, in the spirit of being accurate to the honesty of truthful transparency, I don't really fucking like this game. And it's cold. It's cold in here. But whatever. You know, the trial to continue. Welcome to episode number 11 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Gay Guy Edition. Angry Gay Guy Edition, my bad.
You've spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shakespeare.
He's so fucking... I hate him. Oh my god, I'm freezing! It's because my room is cold.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, now find they are unable to trust you, the victim.
I can't with him. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, not but gas, not but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul.
Aye! What do you say?
Do I take it, Mr. Shakespeare, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery?
Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel. Noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart.
Ah! You flowery mouth pompous beanpole! Just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet.
Mr. Shakespeare! If, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom.
It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on this case.
Oh no!
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection! Objection! I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4!
Yes?
Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man had been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him?
That's right, we do. Don't we, worker?
Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Cashman's honour!
Very well then, we will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, has been stealing gas.
Yes, my lord. It'll be my pleasure. On the altar mount
If I may, my lord.
Go ahead, madam.
This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind.
Wahoo! Oh yeah, sweet Johnny! Yeah!
Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request.
Thank you, my lord.
You wait till the boss gives you an earful. It's gonna take you on my words.
So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Ultimate Gas Company's fuel.
Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
As clear as Ultimate Gas, my lady, which is the clearest in the world.
Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato?
I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo.
What a waste of time.
Alright, here we go. Well, proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Ultimate gas meters accept 3-penny bits each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
And yet the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key.
Somehow, he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is?
Yeah, how is he doing that? How are you pulling that one off?
Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn my hallowed chalice.
What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zeeks?
Did the mustachios Nibunnies poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet, now we must listen to this abhorrence. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance.
But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Damn.
Do what you will.
Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood.
Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incident of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. The fuck is he doing that? Okay. So press on statement 3.
Hold it!
Fucking tummy's itchy, bro.
Out of interest, how long has this been going on?
Weeks and weeks! He's been pinching gas off us for ages!
And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it?
Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb.
And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume?
No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible look. The Shamsphere Special!
That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3 penny pieces.
But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty.
I'll never forget the humiliation when I opened up the money box and found it bare. "You what?" I said. "You what?" And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jammied open anywhere. Not a single sign. And what's happening to my salary as a result? £10 3 shillings a day, that's what!
A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter?
Nothing became of it. I've still got it.
Oh.
Right here!
No wonder they call you Meter Man.
I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing.
Interesting. Doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. So, the walkthrough says to examine its bottom. Which, you know. Not that I'm a stranger to examining bottoms. Oh, what's...
Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Just here, there's a little hole.
Goodness, you're right.
Okay, interesting. So now... Go back. And then this is statement 4. So now I present... the gas meter. Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with.
What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it!
In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box?
Oh, what?
You're right! You're quite right! There's a little hole there! The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do.
In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamsphere secretly opened up this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be all that surprised. But why?
Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing for that thing. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design.
What sort of details?
Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. How does the meter tell the difference between coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it?
No, of course not.
So, well, how does the meter know that the coin's been fed is a threepenny bit?
Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
Ah, I see. It's clearly been well thought out.
The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it's pertinent.
As you wish, my lord.
So then, I want you to know I didn't read that far ahead in the fucking thing. But I had this idea that it's the soap. That they like used the soap and they like melted it somehow. Oh, look at this bar of soap. 3/4 of an inch that she just measured with her ass. Yeah, the reddish medallion. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and present.
Objection!
Let me just confirm something else here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamsphere's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly.
Something the same size as a threepenny bit. What was it?
The item in question is this.
What? Have you been in Island Gas? It's a bar of soap!
It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say.
Looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here.
Got it!
Got it! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean.
Ah! Are you referring to the round depression in the middle of the soup there?
That's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit.
Get away!
Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
That's crazy. Oh, he's okay. So he hasn't been melting the soap. I read ahead, but okay.
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now, to see if it fits. My word! It couldn't be more snug.
Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded.
Well, I don't believe it.
So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas?
Yes! The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit.
I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape.
And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You could make fake coins in no time.
This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamsphere had been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, It's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet!
But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter.
Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear.
I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes.
Exactly. And the meter here gives it away.
What on earth?
There are remnants of the magical method used visible in the gas meter taken from the victim's room.
If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify those remnants to the court at once. It's not his voice, but I don't care. The obvious answer is right.
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window.
Outside?
Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
I get it.
That's right. The answer, of course, is ice.
Did you say ice?
Mr. Shamspear is leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning.
Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont's gas.
Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water.
That's right, madam.
I don't believe it! It can't be true! Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water could render it totally useless!
I'm fairly sure I didn't design it.
Evidence!
Sorry?
I want evidence! If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof!
She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she?
Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll prove it, or provide it.
Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you actually do have evidence to support this theory?
I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with can now explain it. So, this is the other thing. It's the crime scene photograph.
Take that!
This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear.
What remnants?
Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. He peed.
What? What is that? Some kind of grubby stain?
Almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter.
Ah!
If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, the occupant was heating his room in all of his waking hours. We can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor.
This is awful!
And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shamspear is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap broken in half.
You're right!
It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he?
Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not.
He didn't beat around the bush there, did he?
In truth, Mr. Shamspear. Hold on, what do you say? God damn it. Was found with a fork in his hand.
A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord Van Zeeks.
Do you mean to say he was using that fork to...
Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap.
Oh! But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go well.
Good gracious!
Lord Van Zeeks. I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hollowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake.
What is the meaning of this, Counsel?
Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination?
Well...
That Mr. William Shamspear is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make?
Well...
We know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shamspear is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for the immediate adjudication.
You... What?!
Order! Well, Counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruto!
What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Raise an objection. I'm not done yet! No! This isn't over! The defense will not rest!
What?
But, Counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspear to consume gas. What more is there to discuss?
Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all!
What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend?
At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. Ugh. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the last witnesses to take the stand.
Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense?
Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question we now need to reconsider. Namely, was the poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that strychnine poison that affected Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it.
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed?
The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, Counsel, present your proof. What evidence tells us that he's full of shit?
Take that!
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar?
Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday.
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar.
So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating.
In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly, something very obviously strange. They were red.
The ice was red. No, you mean...
That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea! What? I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial.
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again, never!
Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing.
So on the night in question, Mr. Shamsphere, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins.
My word!
There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene.
That's right, and we only borrowed one of them.
Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamsphere's window!
Extraordinary!
Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has been until now been mere conjecture, by finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine or not.
Ah! You smug Nipponese!
My lord! We cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now! The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once! And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison!
Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once!
Yes, my lord, understood!
It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Six.
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow.
Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow.
God damn! That was close. To be continued. Ah! Hey! I want you to know there's 3 trials after this one. Yeah, I'm 100% certain about this, dude. God, there's still so much game left. These games are so fucking long, bro. God damn. Alright, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.